Evening, folks. You'll forgive me if I'm doing this a little distracted tonight. I'm just continuing to play Hades. I've got it turned down though, so you shouldn't hear anything. So, no spoilers or whatever. And also, not too much background noise. So, last night after the fire, I got my shower, came in, and went on another 4th win streak in Hades. Surprisingly. And then I found this app last night. I say I found it. I've been watching Vinny's. I finished his RimWorld stuff, and then I watched his recent Twin Snakes playthrough, and I was digging through some stuff that I hadn't taken the time to watch yet, and I've forgotten that he had been streaming Hades since .5, I think. So I've been watching his streams of Hades, which is fun because I get to see, I didn't play it early access, so I kind of get to see exactly how the game grew. The older different designs, what was added when. Interesting to know how many, there were quite a few characters that didn't even have art yet when the game first released. They were fully implemented, but they didn't have character art. An example would be the shopkeeper that you meet during the runs. He didn't have art yet, or a couple of others. But so it was fun watching that, and then I'm still catching up on it. I'm only on the second video if he's finally hit 1.0. But I've just really gotten into the groove. Unlocked some really interesting alternate variants on the weapons. Just, this game really is packed to the brim with stuff to make each run feel unique in some way, which is hard for a roguelike to do. It helps that this is Supergiant, and they, they share, to me, BioWare's reputation of being able to tell a story about just about anything and make it fascinating. I mean, their previous game was about, I know it was about basketball, but I think the plot of it was sentient animals playing 3-on-3 street ball to go to heaven or something. And it was funny. I rewatched Zero Punctuation's review of Hades, and he brings that up. He's talking about how even when they can make any story interesting. But yeah, they just have such a sterling silver, solid record so far. It's really great. But your fucking record scratch gets me every time. Oh god, what was I saying? Sorry, bear with me a moment here. I just casually started a boss fight, an optional boss fight in the middle of this conversation like I wasn't doing anything. I remember the other thing I was going to say. I found out Darren Korb, the composer for Supergiant, is actually plays the main character in this game, as well as a couple of other side characters. That was really fascinating to me, which means you know, it's funny because there is a character who is canonically singing some music every now and then, or well, not canonically, he just is singing music. He's singing music every now and then, and occasionally Zagreus will compliment him, and I'm just like, that's literally Darren Korb complimenting Darren Korb on how good he sings, and he does. He's got some pipes on him. But this wasn't a good idea. Recording like this was not a good idea. I was talking fine at first, and then I had to start paying attention because I'm in, like, starting this when I'm going into the area that I hate fighting through the most was not the best plan. If I was gonna do this, I should have started from the beginning of this run. But like last night, and then a couple of nights, ago, I had a bunch of thoughts hit me after I'd recorded, just because I couldn't remember them at the time. So that's kind of what this is. It's kind of giving me a chance, even like, yeah, I'm going to go silent here and there, but it's giving me a chance to remember the stuff that I would have liked to say. If there is anything, there might not be, I don't know. But, if there is such a thing, it's giving me a chance. Like, for instance, the Darren Korb thing, I probably would not have remembered that otherwise. Ah, crap. I left the room without getting, never mind. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say. I just kind of... Well, I know what one thing I wanted to say. One of the modifiers limits you to a certain amount of time you can spend in each region. Like, it goes 5, 7, and 9 minutes. Or, like, the first level is you have 9 minutes to clear each area. And, like, I was like, there's absolutely no way. But here I am about to clear the third area, and I'm not even at the 15-minute mark. So, like, it's interesting because the weapon I've gotten the best at is, like, at first I was all about weapons with range, but the weapon I've gotten the best at is literally the least ranged weapon. It's just so fast, and it's so easy to, like, get really, really nearly broken synergies with, and I just love it. Well, oh, I remember one thing I was going to say. I don't know if I mentioned this when I first played it, but one of the things I really like about this game is the incentive to try other weapons, because after doing a run with a weapon, you'll go back to your selection of weapons, and one of them will be glowing purple. And if you take that weapon, you get bonus of the permanent materials that you bring back to upgrade stuff. So it's constantly tempting you to go, around the carousel. And as a matter of fact, my first win was only like my second or third time even trying that weapon, and I don't think I would have went back to it if it weren't for that. Not until I'd managed to clear the game or whatever. So, just all in all, really, really well-crafted experience, if you like the gameplay loop. Now, because I can see some people either getting bored or overwhelmed with the combat, and the nice thing is, there is a quote-unquote easy mode, but since so much of the game revolves around so much of the game's story revolves around dying over and over. The easy mode just you get 2 bonus defense every time you die, and I don't know if there's a high cap to that, but like so you're still going to die a lot. You're still going to lose a lot, but like that's the point because every time you lose, the main hub refreshes and you get to have new conversations. To the point where I've technically finished the story, but not only am I seeing post-story stuff now, I'm still catching up on stuff I didn't finish before completing the story. Without spoiling too much, basically the ultimate goal of Hades is to escape 10 times. Just get 10 wins, and you can do it however you want with whatever weapons you want, but just get those 10 wins. And I'm not gonna go into why it's set up like that. Well, but it is, it just, I really like the way the game is constantly trickle feeding you story. Even if you absolutely bomb a run, even if you screw up catastrophically, like 3 chambers in, and mess up your 3-win streak, and I'm not jaded, I swear. You still get some new dialogue when you go back, and it's just an expertly crafted game. It really, really is, and I get why everybody was upset that it only won. I'm pretty sure it only won Best Soundtrack last year, and don't get me wrong, it deserves that. But it deserved so much more as well. Supergiant Games' quality is so consistent, I hesitate to call them indie anymore. They still are. Because, while we like to think the definition of indies is 2 dudes in a basement, indie just, at this point, really means, they're not part of, to me at least, they're not under a larger publisher. Like BioWare is not indie because they're owned by EA, and even before that they were owned by Microsoft. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think they weren't bought by EA until between Mass Effect 1 and Dragon Age 2. I think that's when they got sold, were bought out by EA. Because I know I don't think it's just because I have Mass Effect 1 on 360, but on 360 you get a Microsoft logo when it's loading up, and I'm pretty sure the PC port of, well, no, that doesn't have anything to do with it because it's EA. Anyway, I'm talking out my ass. Yeah, Hades is good. If you haven't, give it a try. It's really good. This is probably my favorite Supergiant game. Because it's the first one I've been deeply compelled to keep playing. And what I mean by that is, I liked Bastion well enough. I need to go back to Bastion because I own it on Steam, and I think when I first played it, I didn't have a controller. And I played it somewhere else with one or something, and I just couldn't play it with mouse and keyboard, and that's kind of the only reason I never finished Bastion. I need to go back to Bastion. I need to put that on my short list. Transistor, I'd like to try again, but I own it on PS Plus, and I don't have that right now. And also, I would always get like an hour in and just be like, alright, can I play this again tomorrow? And then not. And I've never played Pyre, so I don't know. But like, here I am, like I want to say like 80 hours in. I could check, actually. Steam allows you to do that immediately. 77. Getting to 80 hours, and I'm still more than happy to keep coming back to this game. I remember the other thing I was going to say now. I'm also still, I've kind of gotten into the, where I was originally splitting Hades and Elite Dangerous, or not Elite, Hades and RimWorld. Now I'm doing it with Elite Dangerous. I actually picked up one of those long-term passenger missions that's going to take me several days to complete. But yeah, I gotta go do something. So I'll catch you all tomorrow. I gotta poop.